How to fix can't create DirectX texture, unnamed error in Zula. Welcome back to Teknobalta. During our latest technical investigation into desktop crash loops and rendering failures in Zula, our team encountered the frustrating can't create DirectX texture unnamed error. This fatal exception typically occurs when switching windows via Alt-Tab, completely locking the display and forcing a hard system reboot with the power button. Today, we are sharing our exhaustive 20-step deep dive guide to permanently resolve this DirectX texture mapping failure and stabilize your game client. Step 1. Switch to Borderless Windowed mode. Our initial diagnostic testing revealed that exclusive full-screen mode frequently breaks DirectX texture surface reallocation when Alt-Tab is pressed. To eliminate these window switching crashes, launch Zula, navigate to the display settings, and change the display mode from full screen to borderless windowed or full screen windowed. This ensures your graphics card maintains continuous desktop composition without dropping the direct 3D rendering device. Step 2. Synchronize in-game and desktop screen resolutions. During our analysis, we confirmed that running Zula at a different resolution than your native Windows desktop causes immediate direct 3D surface creation failures. Open your Windows display settings to verify your native monitor resolution, then match this exact value inside the Zula Video Options menu. Our testing showed that unifying these resolutions prevents the texture allocation mismatch that triggers the unnamed DirectX exception. Step 3. Verify and repair game files. Corrupted or missing texture assets within the Zula installation directory can prevent the Direct 3D runtime from generating surface maps. Open your Zula launcher, access the settings icon, and run the built-in file verification tool to scan the integrity of your local archives. Replacing damaged asset bundles ensures that every texture resource is readable by the graphics engine during runtime. Step 4. Perform a clean GPU driver installation using the old display driver remnants often leave corrupted Direct 3D shader caches that fail when handling texture memory reallocation. Download display driver uninstaller, boot Windows into safe mode, and perform a clean wipe of your existing graphics drivers. Reinstalling the newest official graphics driver package from NVIDIA, AMD, or Intel restores proper DirectX API communication. Step 5. Update the DirectX end-user Runtime web installer. Even on Windows 10 and Windows 11, older legacy Direct 3D 9 and Direct 3D 11 libraries required by Zula may be missing or outdated. Download and execute the official Microsoft DirectX end-user Runtime web installer to patch any deficient dynamic link libraries. Our diagnostics confirm that restoring these core system libraries prevents texture rendering bottlenecks. Step 6. Install Visual C++ redistributable runtimes. Zula relies on Microsoft Visual C++ redistributables to manage low-level memory allocation for texture streaming. Download the all-in-one Visual C++ redistributable bundle from Microsoft, covering both x86 and x64 architectures from 2015 through 2022. Reinstalling these packages guarantees that the game engine can successfully allocate memory space for DirectX textures. Step 7. Disable Windows full-screen optimizations. Windows full-screen optimizations attempt to force a hybrid display mode that can interfere with DirectX texture creation during Alt-Tab switching. Locate the Zula executable file in your installation directory, right-click it, select Properties, and navigate to the Compatibility tab. Check the box labeled Disable Full-Screen Optimizations and apply the changes to ensure raw Direct 3D rendering. Step 8. Run the Zula client as an administrator. Insufficient system permissions can prevent the game engine from accessing protected GPU memory space needed for direct 3D surface creation. Right-click the primary Zula application icon, open Properties, and enable the Run this program as an administrator option under Compatibility. This grants the game unrestricted access to hardware resources and DirectX system calls. Step 9. Disable Hardware-Accelerated GPU Scheduling. Hardware-Accelerated GPU Scheduling offloads memory management to the GPU, which can occasionally desynchronize texture allocation in legacy game engines. Navigate to your Windows graphics settings, toggle off Hardware-Accelerated GPU Scheduling, and restart your computer. Our testing confirmed that reverting to standard CPU-managed memory scheduling improves stability during rapid window switching. Step 10. Clear the DirectX shader cache. A corrupted local shader cache can feed invalid texture instructions to your graphics card, triggering fatal DirectX runtime crashes. Open the Windows Disk Cleanup utility, select your primary system drive, check the DirectX shader cache box, and execute the cleanup. Clearing these temporary files forces your GPU to generate fresh, error-free texture shaders upon launching Zula. Step 11. Set high-performance graphics preference. Laptops and multi-GPU systems may attempt to launch Zula on an integrated graphics chip that lacks sufficient texture memory. Open Windows Settings, navigate to Display, then Graphics, and add the Zula executable to the custom application list. Assign the High Performance option to force the system to utilize your dedicated graphics card for all direct 3D rendering tasks. Step 12. Adjust the page file virtual memory allocation. If your system runs out of physical RAM while buffering graphical assets, DirectX texture creation requests will fail immediately. Open the Advanced System Settings in Windows, access Performance Options, and manually set a custom initial and maximum page file size on your SSD. Expanding your virtual memory pool provides an essential safety buffer for texture data overflow. Step 13. Disable overlay applications and background recording. Third-party software overlays inject custom hooks into the DirectX rendering pipeline, which frequently corrupts texture generation. Disable overlays from Discord, Steam, NVIDIA GeForce Experience, and AMD software before launching the game client. Eliminating these background injections allows Zula to manage screen rendering without external interference. Step 14. Modify high DPI scaling behavior. Improper Windows scaling settings can distort the viewport dimensions reported to the DirectX API, leading to texture initialization errors. In the compatibility properties of the Zula executable, click Change High DPI Settings and check the Override High DPI Scaling Behavior option. Set the scaling performed by drop-down menu to Application so the game engine controls its own screen metrics. Step 15. Exclude Zula from real-time antivirus scanning. Overly aggressive antivirus software can intercept and quarantine DirectX texture files while they are being loaded into system memory. Open Windows Security or your third-party antivirus suite and add the entire Zula installation folder to the exclusion list. Preventing real-time file scanning ensures seamless, uninterrupted asset streaming between your storage drive and GPU. Step 16. Check for memory stability with Windows Memory Diagnostic. Faulty or unstable system RAM can silently corrupt texture data before it is handed off to the DirectX API. Press Windows +R, type mdsked, exe, and reboot your system to run the Windows Memory Diagnostic tool. Identifying and addressing physical memory instability is critical for preventing persistent direct 3D surface allocation errors. Step 17. Enforce a maximum frame rate limit. Allowing the game engine to render at uncapped frame rates can saturate GPU memory bandwidth, leading to dropped texture frames. Open your graphics card control panel and set a maximum frame rate cap that matches your monitor's refresh rate. Throttling excess frame rendering preserves RAM bandwidth for stable texture creation and display switching. Step 18. Re-register system DirectX dynamic link libraries. Missing registry registrations for core DirectX DLL files can prevent the engine from calling essential texture creation functions. Open the Windows command prompt with administrative rights, type sfc/scano, and allow the System File Checker to repair system libraries. This process restores damaged Windows system files that govern direct 3D hardware acceleration. Step 19. Optimize Windows power plan for maximum performance. Aggressive power-saving states can temporarily downclock your GPU during Alt-Tab transitions, breaking active DirectX texture surfaces. Open the Windows Power Options control panel and select the High Performance or Ultimate Performance power plan. Maintaining consistent electrical delivery to your hardware prevents low power latency spikes from crashing the graphics pipeline. Step 20. Reinstall Zula to an alternative solid-state drive. If all software diagnostics fail, underlying storage sector errors on your hard drive may be damaging texture files as they stream. Uninstall Zula completely, clear out any remaining app data cache folders, and reinstall the game onto a secondary, healthy solid-state drive. A clean installation on reliable flash storage eliminates physical read errors and guarantees smooth DirectX texture loading. Don't forget to follow Teknobalta for more.